Welcome to another episode of Bucher and Hollins, subsidiary of Bucher and Friends, part of the United WeCast network. I'm Rick Bucher. You can see me on FS1. You can read me on Bleacher Report. You can follow me on Twitter at Rick Bucher and on Instagram at Rick_Bucher. He's Ryan Hollins. You can see him on ESPN. You can follow him on Twitter at the Ryan Hollins, and you can follow him on Instagram simply at Ryan Hollins. And if I sound a little salty as we start this show, it's because we recorded this show and we had a pretty damn good show. The only problem was it apparently did not record. And so we are going at it one more time, and I'm going to try to change my mood as we go. And I'm going to change up. We got heavy in, and we will get heavy into Team USA getting beat by France. We went into that in so many different ways. Actually, we're going to be more concise this time around because we figured out some things as we went in and talked about the 89-79 loss, which ended their attempt to win 3 World Cups, and they're not going to medal, and now they have to beat Serbia just to finish 5th, which is not the way we're used to things. Although Ryan, you had them at 70-30, winning gold. I had them at 40-60, not winning gold. But 30% is a healthy. There's a good possibility that they don't get it done. So with that, losing to France, 89-79, are you with all the headlines, shocking loss? And I just thought, no, it's not. It's not a shocking loss. Not a shocking loss to me. Shocking loss to you? How do you define the fact that we're out and we're playing for 5th place?
No, there's no shock at all. You look at those rosters, and France had the more talented roster. They got an all-star tenured and the defensive player of the year, and Rudy Gobert. And Rick, those guys have been playing together since they were 16 or 17 years old, bro. So I don't know what else is expected. And I mean, keep in mind, this wasn't just all-stars pulling out, as you mentioned earlier. These are just role players. These are just, young up-and-comers, hopefuls. And what's tough, man, is this opportunity is not going to come back around for a couple of guys. And you wonder if this was really injury or, are they not cool enough to play? Is USA Basketball not cool enough if all the guys are there? Or do more teams just actually feel like they really have a chance at a championship? So I can't really put my finger on what it is, man.
Yeah, I do feel as if there are guys that don't want to necessarily have to compete or risk the possibility that they didn't make Team USA, that they were cut. And I know De'Aaron Fox, I don't know that he said it. His bow out was, he's leaving to prepare for the season. Marvin Bagley, I think, said the same thing. I've been told by Team USA people that it was, if De'Aaron had gone to Australia and he had balled out, he would have made the team. But he was not a lock, and he must have known that. And he stepped down right after they played Spain, and he only played like 6 minutes. And Derek White played a healthy number of minutes. And I would imagine it was, I'm hypothesizing that De'Aaron looked at it and said, well, that's not good for me if it looks like I got cut and beat out by Derek White. So let me just jump off early. I don't like what that says about De'Aaron, and it bothers me that there were probably some other guys who took the same route, just didn't want to risk that. And then I think also with the World Cup, winning a gold, I don't know how much people don't care that they didn't win gold. It was, or that they were going to celebrate these guys if they did win gold. And they should have been celebrated in a huge way if they pulled that off, because as you said, it wasn't a star-studded team. But I don't think there's a great return. I think there's way too much risk, and I think guys are afraid of what it looks like if they get beat out by somebody else that they think they rank higher in as a player in the NBA.
Yeah, I've never heard it to the extent, I don't know, maybe that's Team USA's doing, that you don't want to be worded as you were cut. Right. It's kind of like, when a guy's getting fired and he's like, hey, I'm going to resign. I'm stepping down.
Right.
There's a nice way to say you got fired,
Right.
you know? And I don't think that's bad if it's coming from Team USA. But if they really just kind of big time the opportunity, Rick, I do have a problem with that.
Yeah. And I from what the sense that I get, and I feel as if Team USA tries to make it look good for guys. Tries to, if they want to say they stepped away, if they want to blame an injury, if they want to do something like that, Team USA is going to give him the wherewithal to do that. This is what's really going to be interesting. I had a chance to talk to Jerry Colangelo at the Las Vegas portion of the training camp, and he indicated that they were going to stay young. So the guys that took a pass, the veteran guys that decided they didn't want to play in the World Cup, I don't know that the door is going to be open for them to play on the Olympic team. Jerry indicated to me that they were going to go young and that they were going to stay young because they knew that they were playing back-to-back summers. But the guys that committed and devoted their time this summer, if they want to play on the Olympic team, they're going to get first shot. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with developing the young players, even if it means that we're not, ideally we should be medaling, but if we're not winning gold, I'm okay with that because it's going to make them better, and ultimately that's going to make the NBA product better. And here's the thing. I think when we sent the Dream Team, it was to reestablish that the best basketball is played in the U.S. and the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we fell off, it was, let's put the Redeem Team together to prove that the best basketball is played in the NBA. And so we'll prove that through our international play. Well, now I don't know that there's the need for the NBA, for the Team USA to be the marketing arm of the NBA because
fans are spoiled.
Well, no, because
not just to the social media era, but to the player movement.
Yeah, but guess what? NBA players beat Team USA. Rudy Gobert and Nicolas Batum and Evan Fournier. Those are all players on France. So by Team USA losing, it doesn't suggest that the NBA doesn't have the best players in the world. So I don't know that there's going to be this push to get back on top. The push that we had with the original Dream Team and then the Redeem Team.
If this were the Olympics, these guys would play.
Who would?
The guys would come out and play. Now I know you may be missing, a LeBron or somebody like that. And you know what? I believe LeBron will come out and play. He would sacrifice his summer. He'll be in the next Olympics. I think that's something he's going to do as long as he can do, and he'll fall into that older Kobe Bryant type of role. And there could be a Durant or one of those guys, or I can't say Giannis because he plays for Greece, and one of those guys coming to take his footsteps.
Right. But the question is Jerry going to open the door for that? Because it would go against what he told me in Las Vegas.
What did he tell you?
He said we're going to stay with the young guys.
I don't believe that. Do you believe that? I don't believe that. Even I let you say it. I'm sure you let him say it, but do you really believe he's turning down Kevin Durant? Do you believe he's turning down Kyrie Irving? Do you believe he's turning down LeBron James?
So here's the out. First of all, I don't really think LeBron wants to come back. I don't think he's going to come back as part of Redeem Team 2. I just don't. I don't see at this stage. I'm not sure how committed to his NBA career LeBron is, much less he's going to take a summer. I mean, there's a lot of, he's making movies, got production. Like, is he really going to, he's not going to do the international thing again. He's not. I don't see that. The great out that Jerry has with someone like KD, and I don't see KD necessarily doing it, but like a Klay Thompson, he can say, well, Klay wasn't available because he was hurt. If Klay wants to get back, and let's say if he does the smart thing, which is he doesn't play at all next year for the Warriors, and the Warriors don't make this stupid attempt to try to make the playoffs, which it would be stupid to do that, and he wants to get ready for 2021, Klay does, then playing for Team USA would be a great tune-up for that. play in the Olympics, get his game back on track, play meaningful games. That would be perfect. So I could see that, and Jerry could say, well, Clay wasn't one of the guys who turned us down. He wasn't available. So there are a couple guys in that camp that he could go to, even like a Paul George or a Kawhi Leonard. There are plenty of guys that they could go to and skirt around what Jerry said, which is we're going to stay with the young guys. We're not going to go back to the guys who turned us down.
So you think it's going to come in the form of a, kind of an asterisk, kind of, he's not going to stick all the way to the guns. He'll just find a way well, he couldn't play.
Yeah. I think he's going to find a way to
he'll make an excuse. Yeah. Come on, man.
But I don't think he has to. I mean, I don't see the need for that. Now, maybe Jerry wants to do that, but it's not going to be. I've always felt like the NBA and Team USA, even though they will tell you they're separate, I've always felt that they were connected. I've always felt they worked together. And they worked together to promote the NBA on a global scale. That's how I saw it. But I don't believe that that's necessary anymore, because Australia had 4 NBA players when they beat us in that exhibition game, at least 4. And Serbia has 3-4 NBA players in their starting lineup. Spain, France. I mean, I named the French players. We got beat by Rudy Gobert. Is Rudy Gobert known as the center on the French national team, or is he known as Rudy Gobert as the center of the Utah Jazz and the NBA
Utah
Defensive
Jazz.
Player of the Year?
Yeah, Utah Jazz.
Right. So he's still this loss by Team USA isn't a knock on the NBA game the way it would have been 10, 15 years ago. And that's why I wonder whether they're gonna have this push to get back on top. So
yeah, but it's not the Olympics, dude. If this were the Olympics, this would be a thing.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I don't know that
there's something special. That Olympic gold medal goes on the bucket list. It's a Hall of Fame mentioning. It's Carmelo Anthony, his championship.
Sure,
they're holding on.
But guys, all the guys that have one, I don't know that they're Michael Phelps, like they need 2 or multiples. I think you're right. It is on the bucket list. Any guy who hasn't done it doesn't have one. But all the major guys have one.
LeBron will be back.
I'm not.
LeBron will be back.
Are you 70-30 on that? Are you 70-30 on LeBron being back?
LeBron will be back for the next Olympics.
Are you going more? You going higher than 70-30? Give me a percentage.
We'll go 99%. 99% LeBron James will be back at the next Olympics.
You've lost your mind.
LeBron James will be back.
I'm going to go. You're going 99. You're going 99%. I'm going to go. I'm taking the other. I'm going 1%. There's a 1% chance.
Full recruit mode. He's showing up at doorsteps.
No way.
You thought he was You thought he was doing the hand over the jersey over the mouth recruiting before. He's gonna make sure everybody comes out and plays.
No way.
Kobe might be a coach.
He's gonna make an Olympic movie before he plays in the Olympics again. That ain't happening. By the way, Taco Tuesday, the trademark, was rejected, and now LeBron's people are saying, well, it accomplished what we wanted because now LeBron can't get sued for using Taco Tuesday. And then they showed all these, I don't know who it was from his camp who said this. And then they showed all these examples of all these other restaurants and whatnot using Taco Tuesday. And it's defined as a common phrase. Now, I get that. We always thought it was a common phrase. Are you buying, again, that this is 4-dimensional chess by LeBron and his people? And yes, I'm smiling as I say this, that they did not file for the trademark in order to get the trademark. They filed it in order so that they cannot be sued. He cannot be sued for using Taco Tuesday. I just... First of all, was he making any money off of Taco Tuesday? Those videos?
I don't want to say that he wasn't.
Okay, but you don't know that he was.
But
You don't know that he was.
it really became a thing.
Do you think?
It's like a real thing.
Do you think?
Like Rick, they admit it. It's a real thing.
Do you think if he was making money off of it, that we wouldn't have known about it? We would have known.
What do you mean?
You would have seen somehow, some way. You would have known that it was being monetized. You would have known that. So you're making sure that you're not going to be sued. For what? For something that you could have just stopped doing if somebody sued you. Like what? What are you trying to? Are you trying to convince me?
Maybe he was already getting sued. Maybe there are already some threats out there. I mean,
really,
this thing got really big.
Really?
No.
Who's going to sue him? Who's going? And you don't think we would have known that somebody was suing him?
Somebody would try it. I don't know.
They'd have to file. They'd have to file a lawsuit, and we would have seen it.
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me.
What is the need to try to look like, oh, we are so smart? Dude, have you tried to trade? You and I talked about this. He made it into a thing that had value, that had potential value.
True.
So if you want to go ahead and trademark that and hope to exploit that value that you added to the phrase, I'm good with that. I don't have a problem with that. But when you get rejected and then say, no, see, we actually planned on getting rejected. I'm sorry. I'm just not seeing it. And by the way, the Ohio State tried to get I don't think just the word itself, but the as connected to Ohio State. They tried to get that trademarked. That was rejected too. And I put both of them in the same camp in probability of them getting trademarked, which is even below the 1% that I give LeBron playing in the Olympics.
It sounded like a diehard fan came up with that idea. Who in administration or the AD, just this diehard, egotistical idea, we are the U. Not Miami, not anywhere else. And then all these there's thousands of universities. We are the. I know you feel that way, but did you think they were going to let you just run away with the name?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
By the way, the fact that Brooke Lopez played 4.5 minutes against France, Mason Plumlee played like a minute, Miles Turner I think only played like 10 minutes or so. I mean, they went with the Harrison Barnes and Jaylen Brown. Pop went super, super small. As a former big man in the NBA, what does it say to you that we got beat, Team USA got beat by bigs from other countries, and we went the other direction because quite clearly our bigs could not compete?
Well, you didn't have time to kind of figure it out. And what do I mean? Gobert is very valuable because he knows how to run a pick and roll. He's put himself in a situation where he's really good at international play. And if you're Plumlee or Lopez and they're going at you every time in pick and roll, you can't play. So, Pop tried to go to a lineup that could switch multiple screens, pressure the basketball, and that's what you do. You switch screens when you're scared to get beat. You switch screens when I don't have enough time to teach you, how to show or how to hedge and go under and all these adjustments. Switching is, it takes a lot of effort. Don't get me wrong. There's where a lot of teams make a mistake, but it's the easiest concept, defensive play. So you got to understand him going small, but Plumlee doesn't mind jumping out on switches. I think he just went small, man. He just tried something different.
This isn't going to have any reflection on Pop moving forward as the Team USA coach?
No, it can't, man. Look what he had. I mean, and it actually wasn't a bad run, Rick. Obviously,
they almost got beat by Turkey.
Yeah, but dude, Turkey tricked off free throws. Like, dude, the dude missed like 4 free throws, bro. But it's a different level of game, man. And Turkey had NBA players too, so don't just go throwing that out like it was just Turkey, like a a bunch of little Turkish guys running around, hooping up. Like, these are NBA players over there, bro.
Yeah, no, they had a couple. It's just, I don't know that this team distinguished itself by the way that it played. It was what I expected it to be, especially in the way they lost to France, where Donovan Mitchell was great for 3 quarters, didn't score a point in the fourth. They didn't really have anybody else to go to. Jason Tatum was still hurt. Kemba Walker was 2 for 9, was just not very good overall. This is the question that I have. When you look at performances, whether it's Kemba Walker, and everybody was kind of getting hot about him because of how he played earlier in the tournament, do you take any reference point for what we should expect in this NBA season from Donovan Mitchell? Say Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz, or here's the other thing. I mean, Team USA, you could say, got upset. They were the number 1 ranked team, even though people thought that Serbia was the best team. Serbia got knocked out too. They're playing each other for 5th place, and Serbia's got all kinds. They've got Bogdanovic and Jokic and Marjanovic. I mean, they've got a ton of NBA talent too, and they lost and they got upset. And I don't know how it's playing there, but certainly Team USA isn't the only NBA star laden. I mean, we were talking about it before the show. Kemba Walker, who was a situational all-star, was, if I'm looking at the roster correctly, was the only all-star on Team USA. Serbia had Jokic. I mean, they could at least match them all-star for all-star. And yet they didn't go any further.
Man, it's tough, man. These dudes are in like one or done type of situations, Rick. And like when I tell you they are playing like as hard as they can possibly play, like these dudes are putting it out there, Rick. Like they are putting it out there. Like you got to understand, this is a different type of basketball. They're used to playing 2 games a week and practicing twice a day. So when you get out to international competition, these guys are going to be playing on all cylinders, and especially against Team USA, man. And you got a lot of guys who hadn't had experience at this level, hadn't seen how detailed the game is. And, as you pointed out, the flaws, defensively and what they had, they didn't have another big other than Miles Turner that could kind of get out and hedge and show on screens and play.
Yeah, the other part is, and this, I love this about Evan Fournier. He plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Yes, he does.
When he's in the NBA, and doubly so when he's playing for France. He's one of those guys who has always felt like he is looked down upon. And he goes back to even the Denver day, like when he was drafted by Denver, and they were like, he told me about remembers the article, newspaper article that like busted on the Nuggets for drafting him. He's maintained that chip, and no doubt he had it in this game. And as you said, that's the whole thing. Like this France team, these guys in France, they're now legends. They are legends.
I don't want to say Tony Parker's a legend.
In France, these guys are legends because they took down the big bad USA. The guys who won the exhibition in Australia, they will be forever remembered for having won. It sounds funny, having beaten Team USA in that exhibition. If Team USA, on the other hand, if they had won the whole thing and won gold, do you think we'd be looking at Miles Turner and Kemba Walker and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart and Mason Plumlee as legends? No. We would have been looking at them like, oh, you guys did what you were supposed to do. Good for you.
Now, if this was the Olympic team, yeah. If they won the Olympics like that, yeah. Not the World Cup. If they won the Olympics with that squad, they'd be legends.
No.
Yeah. This isn't like Lamar Odom and Carlos Boozer, those guys on the team. Like they would be considered legends.
It's pretty close.
If they won the Olympics, I believe that would give them legendary status. I do. If this exact team was able to pull that off.
So do you think that the Redeem team, that those guys like Kevin Durant, and that whole squad are legends because they were on the Redeem team or because of what they've done in the NBA?
Little bit of both. I mean, it counts, man. Dude, think about Carmelo Anthony. We're still talking about Carmelo's gold medal, like to this day.
That's because it's the only thing we have to talk about when it comes to championship.
Man. You say that had no weight. Come on, Rick.
We still his going to the Western Conference Finals with the Nuggets as the high mark, and going into that series with the Lakers as the favorite, I would say is still a greater accomplishment. His scoring is still viewed as a greater accomplishment, his scoring in the NBA, than the fact that he won a gold medal.
Scoring without winning is just selfish.
Okay. So we can get into the semantics of it, but the bottom line is nobody's saying that Carmelo Anthony or debating whether he's a Hall of Famer or not, and starting the argument with he won a gold medal.
Yeah, that's
they are not starting the argument with that.
It validates him winning and being a part of that.
People will
validates
when it comes to the Basketball Hall of Fame, they will use his winning an NCAA title with Syracuse.
Yeah, all three levels. That for sure puts him in.
Well, but he didn't win a ring in the NBA. So
yeah, 2 for 3, Rick. I mean, gosh.
By the way, are you all in? I didn't know we were going to go here, but I'll throw it out there. Are you all in? Carmelo Anthony's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Yes. Basketball Hall of Fame.
You say that positively, but you don't say that confidently. You're like, yeah.
I thought it was like obvious. Like Dwight Howard is going to be a Hall of Famer. Like I thought this was like common knowledge, bro.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. I think he will be. But I understand those who question, should he be? Actually, with Carmelo Anthony, I don't question it. You brought up Dwight Howard. Man, I know that he was the leader of a team that got to the conference finals.
I think he's got some numbers defensively that are really good, and he, multi-year All-Star.
This is one of those instances where the farther you get
he's
away,
got some numbers that are pretty good, Rick.
I understand that. Good. And the further you get away from knowing firsthand kind of everything that happened with his career, when you take the human weirdness of his career out of it, and you just look at the numbers, you can talk yourself into putting him in the Hall of Fame. But he's had such a weird career, and a lot of it done by his own hand.
Yeah, you're right. No, he definitely hurt himself with the trades and the moves. But I'm just saying, Carmelo, that's the first thing you bring up. Like, no, he's not a ball hog. He's not selfish. He won a gold medal with those guys. So I think and he played well, man. He was a big part of it. So I think he answered a lot of questions there, and that's the first thing that guys go to.
Okay, I'm not arguing. I just, for those that feel like
you're slightly arguing.
Well, I'm not arguing it, but I am giving room for those who would ask the question. Like you are saying it's a no-brainer. And on one level, because I look at all the guys that are in the Hall of Fame, and I would say yes for that reason. But he doesn't strike me as a no-brainer. I think he gets in. I would vote him in. I don't think he's a first ballot. I'm not sure he's a first ballot. Maybe second time around. But
I don't think it matters how you get there, bro.
Well, yeah, I think the honor of as soon as you're eligible, you're in. I think that there's some separation there when it comes to it. All right. I love how whenever we list the roster, the Team USA roster, we list all the players who withdrew. Now let's take a look at this. I want to throw some of these names out here. And And this is where I think, like with a Klay Thompson being hurt, that's how Jerry Colangelo gets around what he said to me about that they're going to stay young. Marvin Bagley, Bradley Beal, Anthony Davis, Andre Drummond, De'Aaron Fox, Eric Gordon, James Harden, Montrezl Harrell, Tobias Harris, Kyle Kuzma, Damian Lillard, Kevin Love, Kyle Lowry, CJ McCollum, Paul Millsap, Julius Randle, and PJ Tucker. If a Tucker was legit, he had an ankle injury. I think he really wanted to play. I don't know how much of a difference he would have made. Of those guys that I mentioned, is there anybody there that you go, if he was on the team, they would have won gold? Give me one guy. By the way, LeBron James was not even listed among the players to withdraw. He was a hard pass.
There's nobody on that list that, to me, says this was going to be gold. I will say PJ Tucker would have been a real addition defensively, but he wouldn't have been enough to get gold, man.
What about
He
Harden?
wouldn't have been enough. Harden?
Yeah. I feel as if they were missing a go-to guy in need situations that could have helped. And I know that the way he plays, it would have been easy for these international teams to load up on him.
Yeah, James definitely would have. That wouldn't have been in question. What they really would have, and James will make the right play. What they really needed was experience. And that's why there's a value in guys who have gotten gold medals, who have been there before. That was surprised that, I thought it was, I don't know how you feel. I personally thought it was a perfect timing for Carmelo to be on the team because he has experience. He can talk guys through situations. He's played big minutes in these deals. And even if he doesn't play the bulk of minutes, he can kind of weather the guys through the storm. And I thought that was ignorance on behalf of USA Basketball for not bringing him.
Yeah, when he was at his best, when he's been at his best, it's because he didn't have to be the leader. When he was in Denver, Chauncey was the leader of that team, and he had pros around him. And you could just let Melo be what he is as a player, and he was great. Same on the Olympic team. And you had J. Kidd, and you got Kobe, and now you just let Melo be the scorer that he can be. And you don't ask him to set the tempo. You don't ask him to be a leader. You don't ask him to make other guys better. We're going to make you the best you can be. And when Melo is, man, there's arguably nobody better inside outside as a scorer when he's got it going. So probably KD, but Melo's right there. When at his best, he was as dynamic a scorer as there is. That's where I'm not sure that bringing him into this situation was going to work. And you needed to be in shape, and you needed to defensively. Where are you playing him?
Played the four. And I saw Melo.
I saw Melo a couple. Like he could have, if he was willing to play the four, he'd still be in Oklahoma City.
He played the four the first time around. He knows he's not a three no more. He don't want to be chasing guys around the perimeter.
Well, but if you're gonna play four, then you got to play. You're gonna have to bow up on somebody, and you're gonna have to slide your feet, and you're gonna have to help a little bit.
Melo's a bully. He likes to be physical.
Offensively, he likes to be physical.
I said physical. And that not taking shots. We don't question that, man. I know you're not a Melo fan, obviously.
No, I am I am a Melo fan, but I also feel as if where he finds himself right now is everybody wants to say, "Oh, it's an outrage that he's not in the NBA." Melo did this to himself. He did it as much as somebody the other day put out a clip of Allen Iverson in his last season and like how quick he was, and he had more left in the tank. Yeah, he did. But he didn't have enough left in the tank to be the Allen Iverson, just as Carmelo Anthony doesn't have enough left in the tank to be Carmelo Anthony. They could still contribute, play in meaningful ways, but they ain't stars anymore. They're not guys that you build your team around. And I just never got the sense that either they were capable of taking that step the way Grant Hill and Jason Kidd did, or that they wanted to. I don't know which one it was. But in any case, they didn't. So That's why Melo was on the outside looking in. There's two teams that thought they had a role for him, and it didn't fit. So everybody else is looking at it and going, at his age, like, is the risk worth the reward? That's ultimately the question.
For USA basketball, I believe yes. For an NBA team, I would believe yes. But as long as the expectations, I think we're saying the same thing. The expectations are in place.
Well, now
I talk with Melo. He just wants to play. I talk to him fresh out of my. He just wants to play basketball.
Yeah.
And he wants the biggest thing from him. The message he sent to me is that he wants to be treated and judged fairly. And there are all these narratives that have gone around about him that because he hasn't jumped out to dispel them, they've just been taken as true.
Yeah.
And that's tough. And I think for what Chauncey did wasn't right at all, in the sense that, yes, he answered his question, but he brought up a guy who was 20 years old and not thinking about nothing but himself. Right. And at 33, 34 years old, me and Melo, I think we're the same age. You can't say that's the same guy. Me at 24, 22 was a mess. Me at 34, a completely different person. And as for Melo, you're trying to get back in the NBA. It's just wrong to bring up, hey, man, you used to do that. Like, Rick, imagine you're looking for that. Well, Rick in his 20s.
Oh, God.
He didn't like to finish his papers on time. I'd have to get them in an hour before the deadline. Like, come on, man. Like, this dude's a grown man.
Yeah. We don't want to go back to my 20s. It wasn't pretty. Thank God we didn't have smartphones back then.
Oh, no, there
Whew.
we go.
No doubt.
That's a pod in itself.
We are going to end it there because that is a road I choose not to go down right now. And you're right. It would be another podcast. It would not be a sports podcast. I don't know what it would be. It would be sporting, but not a sports podcast.
Lifestyle.
Right. That does it for this episode of Bucher and Hollins. The second try. It was successful. It has been recorded. You are going to get an opportunity to listen to it because obviously, if you're listening to it right now, you know that
we're doing it again.
It's been a success. Yeah, we're not. You and me both, brother.
A 5-minute pod.
By the way, hope you appreciated our work, and if so, please rate us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. Just hit the number of stars, leave a comment, and then screenshot that and send it to us at Bucher Friends, and we can do something for you. You'll be eligible to win some prizes. All right. In the next podcast, it will be post weekend 2 of NFL action. And we will certainly get into that. We'll also be closing in on the NBA training camps and what that looks like, if we're going to have any more movement. If Chris Paul is indeed going to start the season in Oklahoma City, we shall see. But we'll get into all of that just with our schedules. Not sure whether it's going to be Bucher and Blackman, Bucher and Hollins, or Bucher friendless. Also have a couple guests that we're lining up coming up. So as they say, stay tuned. And in the meantime, as always, thanks for listening.